guys, it's Jeff over at the house, and got a little story for you today, and I'm going to throw in an idea, and I'll see how it works with you. This happened to me a few years ago, not a long time ago, maybe 5 years ago or something, and I'm over at the Walmart, and the thing about Walmart is, of course, just like you, I've seen all these stories, I've seen videos of weird people at Walmart doing weird things, you know, and personally, I've never experienced so much weird things, but I've experienced a lot of irritating things. And on this particular day, I'm at Walmart, and my wife was shopping for something for our niece or nephew or something for a toy, you know, of something, and we're over in the toy section and we're shopping. And I don't know whether you've ran into this before, but I come around the corner just kind of looking while my wife is shopping for this toy. I was looking at toys too. I do love toys, but I'm looking at toys, and I notice this woman is standing there, and she's shopping for kind of the same thing my wife's doing. Well, she's got two kids that are maybe 5-7 years old or something, and they are on the floor having just a party or something. I mean, they're grabbing a hold of every toy they can get their hands on. They're ripping them out of the boxes and proceeding to play with them in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the aisle. And this woman seems to have no idea. I'm not sure she even knows she has children, you know. At first, she's so oblivious to her kids, I almost thought maybe it wasn't her kids, but then she says something to them, not to say, you know, don't rip things out of the box or don't play with them. She says something to them about them fighting over a toy or something, as if these are just toys they already own. So anyway, I'm like, this is too much. I mean, I can't believe this is happening. And don't get me wrong, I'm not confrontational. I'm not one to go up and just jump in people's business. But this was more than I could take. So I walk up quietly to this woman, you know, and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am," you know, and she kind of whips around and looks at me, and I said, "Your kids are kind of getting crazy over here with the toys." And she looks at me and squints her eyes like this, and she's like, "My kids?" And I'm like, "Yeah, your kids are tearing stuff up." And she goes, "How dare you tell me anything about my kids?" You know, and I'm like, "Well, your kids are going nuts, you know." She goes, what right do you have? You know, what business is it of yours? And I'm kind of thinking, you know, as she says this, I'm thinking, well, maybe it isn't really my business, but it's, you know, it's irritating the heck out of me, so I'm making it my business. Well, she's yelling different things at me, and she's way more upset than I possibly thought she would be, because I dared to say something about her kids. Well, right then, this other guy comes around from another aisle, and he comes down the aisle, and he sees what's going on, and he comes up, and he starts yelling at me. Well, now I'm standing there, and I'm kind of arguing with both these people, and he starts sticking his chest out, and I thought, good golly, we're going to get in a fist fight over me saying something about his kids, you know. So right then, my wife hears all this commotion, and she hears my voice, and I'm loud, you know, so she hears me. She comes around from the back end. She kind of comes up behind the two of them, and she's shaking her head at me like, "No, like, why are you doing this?" So now I've got these two people that are confronting me for confronting them. I've got my wife in disapproval, shaking her head no at me, and I'm standing there in this whole nightmare. So at some point, I just spin around. I go, "That's it. You know, I've said my piece. Obviously, it's gone nowhere. It's been terrible. It's not, you know, I'm getting yelled at by two different people." So I turn around, and this woman's like yelling stuff at me as I continue to walk away. She's going, you know, "That's right. Walk away. You don't have no blah, blah, blah," you know, and I'm like, oh, geez, you know. So that was a horrible confrontation, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to do that again. But as I thought about it afterwards, you know, somehow or sometimes you reflect on something after you do it. I thought there's got to be a better way for these kind of situations to arise. And I got this idea that what if we adopted, as a civilization or whatever you call it, as a society, we just adopted the idea that there would be a code word for telling people, check your children, you know? And maybe some of you are with me on this. I thought to myself, picture this. I just walk up and I say this code word, like let's say banana. I walk up to this woman and I just go, "Excuse me," and she goes, "Yes," and I go, "Banana," and she goes, "Oh, what? Oh," And she looks over and sees her kids, and she checks the kids. She's like, stop doing that. And I walk away. I'm just like, hey, no confrontation, no judgment here, just banana. How much better of a society would that be? So that's my story. That's my idea. And you guys tell me what you think about that. Maybe there's other situations. Throw down in the comments other situations or other code words you think there may be that might work. I think like there could be another code word for you're blocking my way at the supermarket. But anyway, you guys might have your own comments, so throw them down there in the comment section. I appreciate you guys for listening to me today. And, I say God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.